All right, so as I mentioned before, I'm doing this in my garage, and I'm going off of kind of like cue cards, and this one has a lot to it, so it's kind of small, so if you see me squinting, just try to forgive me, okay? So this one's on fundraising, and this is something that is huge for us because we aren't made of money. The organization really relies on donations for all of this to happen, and these builds can get kind of pricey. The materials that we use are specialized in some cases. The merchandise that we have to get in order to make things look the way that we want them to can get expensive. Just mold making supplies alone can cost you easily $200 to $300 if you're doing a lot of specialized design stuff. So, that being said, I wanted to talk about fundraising and kind of ways that you can make it fun for you, not make it something that people are just annoyed with on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snap, whatever. I am not a social media guy. I am blessed with having a decent network of friends. I'm blessed with a lot of really interesting people in my life. And that's kind of the thing that keeps me going, is that I get to meet really, really cool people and do some fun things with them. And for some reason, they let me tag along. So here's the tips that I have for fundraising. It actually took me a little while to kind of like think about what it is I was doing for my fundraising. And we have a lot of good resources. Christine Getman is really good at getting your pages set up and the feedback, but it's going to take a little bit of work on your part. And in the last video, we were talking about, or not last video, one of the other videos that you can watch where it talks about the different roles of your team. I talked a little bit about the fundraising, and we're going to go a little bit more into depth this time. So one of the things that you need to remember is, I know this is hard work, and I know that there are going to be long days. I was doing builds in my garage in 108-degree weather, no air conditioning, and I had 3 weekends to do it in, and I'm actually quite surprised that we got it out in that time. This is something that normally I would say is easily 8 weekends, 400 hours, easily. I had a decent crew, and it can get hot. It can get annoying when you have pink foam dust everywhere, and I mean everywhere. It can be itchy and irritating, but you got to remember you're having fun. You got to remember to have fun. So make sure that you maintain through music, through making sure you're drinking enough water, making sure you're having some energy happen, some excitement happen, set some achievements for you. Whatever you need to do to remember that this project is cool, this project is fun, and this project is worth its weight in gold. It's going to help whatever it is you're putting out in social media, what you're putting out to your friends and family, the way that you're talking it up to people that you meet. All of that's going to come through. If you start letting it get you down, it's going to start to sound like you were really burdened by this thing. There was no time in this build where I was upset to be doing it. There were times I was upset I had walked in the house because it was so much cooler in there, and coming back out here was just torturous. But every time I looked at this thing, and every time I looked at Zoe's picture on the wall, the kid's picture who I was building for, it energized me, it made me happy, it made me want to do this. And I suggest you use that to your advantage also. One of the things that I did for my fundraising is I gave small glimpses of what I was doing. Every day I would do like a little video live feed on Facebook and talk about where we were at, and who was here, and what we were doing, and the materials we were working with that day, and I'd give a little glimpse of it. And to my fans and followers, calling them fans is weird, to the people following the project who were fans of the project, they really appreciated that. In fact, Chelsea, Zoe's mom, told me that she was scouring the internet to see what it looked like, and I wasn't given anything but bits and pieces, and that kept her interested, and that kept her excited, and she really, really worked at trying to figure out what we were doing. So doing that kind of thing means that people are going to be doing that also, not just the families involved. They want to see what you're doing. They want that hint. They want that that teaser because it's exciting. So highly recommend giving little bits and pieces of what you're doing, showing what you're working on, talking about it, having fun with it, and then if you have friends who are funny, use them, because funny makes this stuff cycle quick. Be appropriate, because obviously we're building for kids, but if you can bring some levity into it, then awesome. Keep hyping your progress. That's a part of what we just talked about, but keep teasing the reveal. Keep mentioning the reveal. Mention your sponsors. Mention the people who are doing this. Tag themagicwheelchair.org in all of your videos. Tag the Magic Wheelchair in all of your posts. Make sure you're linking to your fundraiser page all the time. Make sure you're putting it up on Facebook. Facebook has a fundraising button. You can use that one too, in addition to the one that you're doing. That eked me out a few $100 extra. That was nice, because that wasn't looking at the total. So people will look at the fundraising total on Facebook and not realize that there's a fundraising total on your other page, and that generates more money. Because this organization, it has to spend a lot of money on these costumes. So you're constantly trying to hype that. You're constantly trying to put that out there. And I'm sorry that we're talking about money so much, but that's kind of the beast. Until we get independently funded by some oligarch out there who wants to completely bankroll a wheelchair costume for every child in the world, twice or 3 times, then we're going to have to keep fundraising. So be positive, be excited, have fun. It's okay to be a dork. I mean, really, look at me. So you can have fun with it, you can enjoy it. Remember, this is for a kid. This is a huge deal. Having your photo video person, photo little moments with the crew, video moments with the crew. Shoot during a lunch break, sit down, have a talk about it, and then get little snips of that. If you have somebody who can do video editing, or just do like little, I think Apple has a little great video editor. You can do stuff like that and just keep throwing stuff out there. Just keep generating the hype. Keep showing what fun you're having and how you're doing it and what's going on, and that's going to do some great buzz. Brainstorm your fans. Are you doing something that a company's going to love? Are you doing a NASCAR car? Are you doing something like a kitchen where you can contact a culinary supply place? We had a kitchen built for a kiddo. That was really cool. Are you doing a TIE fighter? Because anything Star Wars, there's this group called 501st, and they are an amazing group of people. They do lots of charity work. They dress up as stormtroopers and Boba Fett's and all sorts of Darth Vaders and all sorts of other stuff, and they build their own costumes. They have construction capabilities, but they are also a group that goes to hospitals. They raise money for all sorts of different events, all sorts of different charities. They've been extremely helpful to us. They just generated a bunch of fundraising for us at a convention, so finding people that want to help you is huge. Go to your local hardware stores. Go to your local businesses that have tie-ins with what you're doing. If you're doing a lot of mold making stuff, contact like a Tap Plastics or a Reynolds or a Smooth On or places like that. I contacted a lighting supply company that does haunted attraction stuff, and they do awesome lights. And the Quan from Gantum Lights hooked me up with lights that I could use in the chair, and they made that chair that much better. Fundraising through them or getting materials through them is going to help your project along. And them seeing the excitement and you giving back to them, giving them that spin, giving them that buzzword or the pictures of that cute kid, the awesome kid, the superhero kid, is going to just drive them to help us more in the future. So that's kind of the fundraising stuff. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it, but most of it, just be the awesome person you are, because if you weren't awesome, you wouldn't be doing this project. You wouldn't be helping these kids. It's really important that people get to see how amazing you are and how amazing this organization is. I have never found a charity that I have been more willing to suffer for in heat and exhaustion and tiredness, and still keeps a smile on my face every step of the way. So I'm very blessed to be a part of this, and I hope that you feel the same way. And I hope that we can generate some positive energy to really just keep amping up the fundraising and keep getting the word out there. We're getting some big name people noticing us, and that